DGVerttech.net's primary goal is to provide you with a successful website presence. They have purpose-built their web servers successfully throughout the years. The stress testing has been done so that they can provide you with an enhanced web hosting technology that they design for using future standards today for tomorrow. They offer 24/7 support for all web hosting plans. Their team answers support tickets 24/7, so if you have a problem at any time, an agent will be more than happy to help you. If you're not satisfied with your service within 7 days, then you can get a full money-back guarantee, with a 99 uptime guaranteed as well, with plans for shared hosting starting at just $2.95. It's clear to see why DG Verttech should be your choice for web hosting. Just go to www.dgverttech.net today, your web hosting solution.
And leaving it off on that note. And we are doing a live event here at Richmond Speedway. And in the broadcast booth here tonight, we have Dylan Ackert and we have Rachel. Rachel, say hello to everybody.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, we're live here with the DG Verttech Cup with Real Racing Online at iRacing. Tonight we are live and qualifying is going on the track at Richmond International Speedway. So, what are the standings so far in the race towards the Sprint Cup, or the DG Verttech Cup in this case? Currently, our point standings in this final race before the chase, we have Matthew Wirtz in first position, Michael Rominger, Stephen Mastro, Daniel Murphy, Jeffrey Creek, Aaron Berge, Jerome Howard, Kevin Parsons, Richie Evans, Jim Thorndike, Jose Pavon, and a 12th, as yet undecided, place in the chase. So, this is still open as a fight, folks. This is going to be an interesting one tonight. So, we're going to go live trackside just to see exactly what's going on right now and have a look as the qualifying times start to come in. 3 drivers setting times so far. We have Chuck Sweeting with a 20.081. Second place is Aaron Berge, always fast. James Thorndike behind him. Over 3/10 separating the top 3, and Jose Pabon with a somewhat slow time, possibly sandbagging in 4th. I'm sure we're going to get quite a few times coming in, don't you think, Dylan?
Oh yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of times coming in very soon. I just think these drivers are just waiting it out, seeing what they can do, and just relaxing a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the final race. You know, for some guys, they're locked in. This isn't so important. But for those drivers on the bubble, and there are 2, we have Danny Sanchez and we have Eric Crow. Those 2, whichever one finishes higher, they're going to be in the chase. So this is a critical race for those 2.
Yeah, I think tonight you're definitely going to see a different side of them than we usually see. I think they're going to definitely be side by side during racing hard, and hopefully maybe a little bit of contact between the 2 drivers. I think they're going to be going and doing everything they can to get that final spot going into the last main event before the chase.
Well, I hope they don't have contact, but I hope we have good racing. Although, as it stands, we have not got an entry from Danny Sanchez, so Eric Crow could well lock himself in by default. But we don't know. Danny Sanchez has always been one of the late ones to turn up at the racetrack, so we will find out before the flag drops, folks. So, qualifying time's still coming in. Things are changing around. We've got a new place in 4th, which is Kevin Parsons with 20.619. And Stephen Mastro behind him in 5th, the number 45 car with a 26.95. As I say that, Eric Crow, the guy on the bubble, slots it in 4th, 20.547. What do you think of this track then, Dylan? This is quite a small oval, it's a challenging track, and it's definitely been known to have its eccentricities. What do you think?
I personally I'm a fan of this short track. I think it's very interesting on how each driver drives different, unlike normal other tracks, which, there's only one driver line. I think what we saw last week during the wheel event by the pros that there was a line on everywhere you go. So I think it will be interesting seeing how some of these drivers use their setups to their advantage and using the different lines, and hopefully see a few passes that you wouldn't technically see on the main event on the television. And who knows? Hopefully, it'll be a drag race to the finish.
Hopefully, indeed. And just to kind of fill folks in, Goodyear brought a new tyre last week to Richmond International Raceway, and that pretty much had the fall-off rate of uranium. It did not degrade at all, and we saw people like Kevin Harvick running the top line, which you just don't see at this track. Obviously, iRacing, different tyre model. I think we're still somewhere along the wagon wheel concept of the wheel, but iRacing's tyre is not the best. There are maybe one, maybe two lines, but it's certainly going to be interesting as the cars are now coming to the grid. Now, to run through your qualifying times, we have Chuck Sweeting on the pole in the 62 machine, 20.081. Aaron Berge, James Thorndike, and Eric Crow rounding out our top two rows. Row 3 will be Kevin Parsons, Stephen Mastro. Row 4, Michael Woolley and Jose Pavon. And behind them, we have non-qualifiers from Jeffrey Creek, Michael Leiby, Mike Rominger, Tony Stewart, rounding out our 6th row. So the cars taken to the grid, getting last adjustments and communications between the drivers and their pit crews as we get ready to go underway here at Richmond International Raceway for 200 laps. Dylan, the weather tonight is 68 degrees. It's a wind of 60 miles an hour from the southeast. Quite humid, 78%. Do you think that's going to make the track more grippy? Do you think it's going to affect the way this race runs? Obviously, it's very different conditions to what we see as normal, but what do you think?
Well, I don't exactly know what's going to happen. iRacing is very special with the weather, it affects each car and setup driver. But I don't know. I think it'll be interesting on seeing how these drivers adapt to the temperature that they were given. Hopefully, it'll come out as a good event.
Absolutely. And of course we have Aaron Berge starting on the outside of Chuck Sweeting. Aaron's been an aggressive driver. He's been pretty good on the short tracks. I think with him on the outside, perhaps the preferred line here at Richmond, we could see him take the lead early.
And that's just the thing. Nobody knows what can happen. You don't know. I mean, track position is key on, I think, every track in iRacing and on television. So it'll be interesting at seeing how these drivers in the far back move their way up.
Absolutely. Just to let you know, Dylan, you're allowed to have an opinion. This is television. We can say what we like within reason, as long as we don't basically slander them. You know, if I was to say Aaron Berge blows engines, that could be considered slander. If I was to say I believe Aaron Berge blows engines, that would be a different story. So, you know, have an opinion, nobody knows is not what the folks are here to listen to. Anyway, the guys are moving off on their formation lap, and we're going to get underway here inside of a lap. Cars are warming their tyres, the guys are getting everything scrubbed up, temperature, cleaning off that factory surface from those sticker tyres, and the pace car is bringing them through turn 3 and 4. Back's pretty open, but of course we will be going green next time round. We have one more lap as the field frantically tries to close up and find their places. Not a big grid tonight, we have maybe 12 cars, but it's going to be a good fight. So I apologise to folks if we have any particular broadcast issues with our image tonight. We're having satellite feed problems between the track and our broadcast booth, so please bear with us. The pace cars coming through is turn 3 and 4 now as we get set to go green at Richmond International Raceway. 200 laps of hard fought racing, the pace cars on pace road. And they're away.
Green, green, green.
Green flag. Cars getting away pretty cleanly. Well, we have a car looking down the inside. That's the number 3. we don't have a number 3. I apologise, it's 13 of Michael Woolley. Sneaking his way up through the track as our 2 leaders get away very, very early. As we look out front, Chuck Sweeting managed to steal that lead from Aaron Berge and he's running away with it. As those 2 lead cars are 10 car lengths from 3rd place. 3rd position back we have Jim Thorndike, Eric Crow, Kevin Parsons, and they are fighting hard for those final positions. Of course, being a fairly short track, getting hung on the outside is not what people want, and hopefully guys will be able to slot in and we'll get some good racing going on as people start to find their tyres. Absolutely. Tony Stewart and Jose Pavon racing hard for last place. Nobody wants to be on the tail end of that field. In fact, they're largely singled out. Cars are running their laps. They're pretty early on in this long race, so they're giving each other room. This is going to be an interesting one. Cars are all packing up in those corners. Turns 2 and turn 3. Really tight, really hard work for these very fast, powerful cars. Bunching up and spreading out, bunching up and spreading out. I mean, this is difficult to create passing opportunities when the cars are really a slave to the racetrack like this. He saves it and he carries on. He loses a couple of positions though, and this will bring him out behind the 4 car of Mike Rominger of 9th place for Michael Woolley. Not what he wants this early on, but he can still recover from it. That's 8th place, I apologise. Of course, not taken together. Michael have moved up a place. My math is not my strong point, folks. And as we keep looking through this field, checking back on our leaders, Sweden opening up that advantage over Aaron Berge to 1.3 seconds. Aaron Berge still behind him, not quite as close. James Thorndike catching at the back of Aaron Berge, which could make this an interesting fight for second. Thorndike having a very quick car, so we shall see if he can get past Berge and up towards our leader. Maybe he will pose enough challenge to slow him down. Steven Mastro, not good, not good. Hopefully that car's going to perform okay, otherwise he may have to take it to the garage and get it sorted out. Not what he wants this early on in the stage of this race, but as we know, Steven Mastro, one of those drivers who is locked into the chase. He doesn't have to finish tonight, folks. His position is secure. Up to this field, the battle for second place is hot as James Thorndike is closing on the back of Aaron Berge's number 8 Jeep. Those 2 cars getting closer and closer, although the gap between Berge and Sweeting is closing, so we could see a lot of action here up front, Dylan. It is very easy to get this car loose coming through turn 2. This thing does not like change direction so quickly and so sharply carrying that much speed, so he's really pushing to try and close that gap into what is essentially a very slow speed corner. But he's doing a great job sticking to them. He's definitely one of our short track experts. Third running order at this time, we have Chuck Sweeting in first, Aaron Berge second, Thorndike behind him, followed by Crow, Freak, Rominger, Woolley, Libby, Stewart, Pavon, Mastro and Parsons Kevin Parsons in last place. What's happened to Kevin, do you think? Dylan, have you seen any issues? Absolutely, it seems strange to see Kevin Parsons so far out, 9 seconds behind 11th place. He must have had a problem, guys. I mean, this does not seem like Kevin Parsons. He's a very strong racer normally, and he is not typically prone to be nearly a lap down at this stage. We're just going to have a bit of investigate, folks, and find out exactly what happens. He's out on lap 11. Kevin Parsons had a spin coming out of turn 4. We'll see if we can actually find that for you as a replay. Spun it out of turn 4 across the infield grass, and that's why he is so far down. Really unfortunate start there for Kevin Parsons. He will be begging for a caution to get him close up to the rest of the pack. And up front we have a switch position for second place as James Thorndike passes Aaron Berge for second. And will continue his charge towards our leader, Chuck Sweeting. Pretty good pass there, typical into turn 2. Through to the slow speed corner, took him on the inside. Aaron gave him a lot of respectful groove this early in the race, so that's a really good move there from Thorndike. Let's see if he can hold on to it. As we know, Aaron is not the sort of driver to give up easily. Still a 2.5 second gap between third and fourth place. Mid-pack is pretty close together, spreading out a couple of seconds between the cars until we go back to Jose in 10th, who is a couple of seconds behind 9th, Stephen Master in 11th, and Kevin Parsons a whole 18 seconds behind our leader. That is not where he wanted to be on a track which is pretty close to 21 seconds race pace. But as we see it, our leader Chuck Sweeting is entering turn 3 as Kevin exits turn 4. It will not be long before he goes a lap down, Dylan. Really loose race car, seeing as the new changes we had to our racing course, they add vulcanization to the rubber, which is, when you slide, obviously that messes with the compound, and to say in layman's terms, it makes the grippy surface smoother and harder, less adhesive, so he's probably actually got a pretty sneaky race car in his hands. That's something we saw a lot last week at Atlanta, folks. Cars with ring wobbles, little moments, catching it, but ending up ruining their tyres for many laps afterwards. So, I mean, let's have a look at see what Kevin's laps are looking like. He's running 21.2s at the moment, so he's not running bad laps. To reference, our leader ran a 20.9, so he's really only 2 or 3 tenths off the pace at this time from the leader, which is not a reasonable difference. We can only assume that he's had some bad moments. The tyres have been slippy. Maybe he's now reached a point where he can hold on. That is true. Kevin definitely struggling there with that car as Chuck catches up behind him now. This is not going to do him very well at all. Checking back on second place, he's closing up behind Chuck Sweeting. That is the 59 machine of James Thorndike. And this lap traffic, Kevin Parsons, do you think he's going to provide a bit of a pick there to help Thorndike get past our leader? We have some 2-wide action here. Further down the field, we have 5th place Mike Rominger in the number 4 Jimmy John's car. On the outside of 5 Budweiser. That is not good. We missed something major here, folks. Aaron Berge, let's see if we can find out exactly what happened to that car. Aaron Berge, of course, started this race out on the front row on the outside. Now back in ninth. Well, there's only another lap. And you know what, Dylan? He did exactly the same thing that Kevin Parsons did. Got loose coming out of turn 4, and he spun it into the infield, around on that grass. So, two big names this week, folks. Kevin Parsons and Aaron Berge, both mowing the lawn here at Richmond. That is not good for both of them. Well, no, this is going to be a major factor for that team because, of course, you know, all three cars running, let's be honest, in the bottom half of this field. We have cars in 9th, 10th and 12th places. Kevin Parsons now having a lap down to our leader. They really are, they've made some sort of mistake. You know, the team collaborates, they've worked on their setups, and they're obviously having some sort of issue. Now, it's pretty loose. I mean, I've driven some of Aaron's setups in the past. He does make a loose race car, and it's the sort of thing that will tighten up over a run. We're only 32 laps in here, folks, so this is maybe halfway through a race run of fuel. But these cars are not tightening up as they expected. You know, they're not getting that grip that you would be wanting. So perhaps they've shot themselves in the foot. I wouldn't be surprised if we see them put a couple of rounds in the right rear and maybe make a track bar adjustment for this pit stop. We have a caution out. Caution, caution, caution. And it's Aaron Berge.
Tiger vote. We're good.
Berge again goes around out of turn 4. Step out at one random moment, and the car goes sideways. Of course, this front stretch here at Richmond is straight into there. Aaron just lost the back end under acceleration, and round is gone. NASCAR seemed fit to bring out the caution flag for that one as he was on the track. Though this has probably been a good thing for Kevin to bring him back on the lap, Dylan.
Watching the what happened right now,
Well, here's an interesting fact. Aaron Berge stayed out under pit stops. You think? Oh, it's a positive now. 2 spins for Aaron. Tim, Kevin, and Stephen will be straight into the pits getting adjustments on those cars, but Aaron Berge is staying out maybe to lead a lap. Maybe he's going to counter a restart caution. Maybe he's going to see what his fuel strategy will do later on as the car improves, but considering he's still spinning, I really wouldn't think he... And here he comes down pit road. Obviously changing his mind. All cars taking 4 tyres and Snooker race fuel at this time. Pretty early in the race, but it's a long way to go. Richmond, of course, a pretty hard track on tyres, so these guys are banking early. As we look out front, Chuck Sweeting wins the race off pit road, and he's first behind that pace car. Behind him, James Thorndike, Jeffrey Creek, Michael Woolley in 5th, Eric Crowe 6th, Jose Pavon 7th, 8th, Super Mastro 9th, Michael Leiby, Tony Stewart in 10th, Aaron Berge in 11th, and Kevin Parsons 1 lap down in 12th. Although not being involved in this caution, he will get his lap back. Though a saving grace for a driver who's been running pretty good laps. Now he's got fresh tyres, good clean rubber. Do you think we'll see Kevin start to move up some places, Dylan?
well, hopefully during that time that of this yellow flag, the team has been talking about what they can do to fix their car. Because 2 out of 3 drivers have been having issues with the setup, so hopefully, you know, they did something and maybe Kevin can go around and make his way back up to the field and put his name back out there. So
Here he goes. Kevin Parsons getting the wave around on the field right now, which will bring him back onto that lead lap. Aaron Berge, that's why Aaron pitted on the second lap. He went down a lap to the leader when he spun his car, so not good there for Aaron. Yeah, hopefully these guys from this team will actually get some time to get this car fixed, make some improvements, and you know, these guys are pretty good racers. Stephen Mastro, he's fairly highly placed in the chase, but to actually say he's 3rd place in the chase at the moment. He improved last week from 4th place, and he's 30 points behind our leader. So Stephen Master, not a bad driver, yet he's suffering at this track with this setup. Aaron Berge at plus 6th, and Kevin Parsons is 8th place in the chase. So these are all top-notch drivers we have here, having major issues. So we'll soon see on this restart exactly what happens, and hopefully they'll get their names back in contention. I think you might be right there, Dylan. 162 laps at Richmond International Raceway. This is already shaping up to be a far more exciting race than the real event we had last weekend. And that's, of course, somebody wants to climb on that catch fencing as the cars go green. We're off. Clean start from all our cars, and everyone tries to find a hole as we slot down into the low-speed corner of turn 2. This is like chess at 180 miles an hour as the cars find spaces. Number 14, Tony Stewart, gets a little wide into the wall. Number 4 has taken some evasive action there, Mike Rominger, so cars taking it fairly easy so far. Everyone managed to get this going straight away as we get another concertina into turn 2. Number 7 of Eric Crow getting very close to the wall, Jose Pavon behind him, and Michael Woolley in front. Jose taking that middle line. Eric taking that middle line. Not seeming to work for him as Jose works the bottom and makes that pass, or will make that pass, into turn 2. Will he clear him this time pass? Yes, Jose will clear him. Brilliant pass there from Jose Pavon in that number 22 machine. That's a really nice pass. As it looks at the 45 of Stephen Mastro, obviously having made some sort of change during that pit. So we have the 4 round. 4 is round. Mike Rominger goes around and brings out the caution flag. Let's get a replay and see what looks like Mike just seems to get into the catch fencing a little bit, Dylan, and he touches the safe barrier on the outside, and he goes straight through the grass and moves the exact same place that Kevin and Aaron have. Well, Kevin and Aaron both were actually track on this, but their cars were so it seems though maybe Mike was tracking out a little too hard and steering towards the wall, tried to make a correction on the steering to get that car to come back down the track, and it was a little too much for the grip he had. Everyone down the road again. I mean, folks, we're only 2 or 3 laps here since we were under caution previously, so 6 laps, I apologise, since this caution. Absolutely, Michael Woolley in the number 13 will lead a lap. We have the number 45 of Stephen Mastro in 2nd place. 5th place will be Michael Leiby and Aaron Berge. So that's a big shake-up there. Of course, Michael Woolley going to lead some laps this race for the first time in the season. So that'll look good on his standings. And of course, Michael not joining us in the booth tonight as he's out on track doing a Michael Wild trip.
Right now, as we have Mike Woolley, Stephen Mastro, and Michael 05 that didn't go into pit lane. I wonder if they're thinking about fuel, tires, or they just want to make a few laps before they start falling back. Anybody knows iRacing, new tires are the best.
Well, that depends exactly on how you're driving them. I mean, this season, new compounds, it's very dynamic that you can look after your tyres and they'll be okay. Sometimes taking fresh tyres isn't the advantage you think it is. It's a tough situation, but these guys are, of course, we'll just see Aaron Berger getting that wave around, bringing him back onto the lead lap. So these guys, they've not been out that long. It's been 6-7 laps since the last caution, and in tyre life terms, that isn't a great deal, especially at someone like Richmond. And hopefully they're gambling that this will not be a big factor. They think they've got 7-lap older tyres, they're saving for the fuel under caution. The difference might be negligible. They're not going to get 7 laps back, of course, so it's going to set them off sequence a little bit. But it might be just enough to get them into a sequence where they can run maybe one less stop or a different strategy, and it could play into their hands. Although, of course, unless we haven't really had a chance to see yet if their team has managed to make a change. Stephen Master, of course, in second place, has had the same car as 2 guys who've already spun. So, could this cause a pile-up at the front? Could this be a accident waiting to happen? Cars are forming up now 2 wide as we start to get the countdown to green flag. If not this lap, the next lap around. Pace car leads him down the back straight with the tyre field forming up. The race order will be for the restart. Michael Woolley in first place on his outside, Stephen Mastro behind them. Michael Livey, James Thorndike, Jeffrey Creek, Jose Pavon. Chuck Sweeting, our previous leader, in 7th. Eric Crow on his outside. Tony Stewart, Aaron Berge, Mike Rominger, Kevin Parsons as the pace car ducks in. And we get the green flag. Low start for number 5, Michael Livey, as Jeffrey Creek gets up from behind him. Everyone managed to fan out again as we come through turn 2. Everybody getting a little wobbly as they get 2 wide through a very tight corner. Almost a bit of 3 wide action as Mastro struggles with some traction there. Mastro falls right back as Michael Woolley maintains the race lead here at Richmond International Raceway. Chuck Sweeting with a brilliant restart as he pushes his way up to 4th place behind Jeffrey Creek and Michael Livey. That's a pretty good restart coming back from 7th place. He's already in 4th. I think he's going to come right back to the lead within a couple of laps still.
They are all pretty much down to that one spot. Very quite interesting how these drivers are diving cars down.
Incredible driving talent there from our guys on the track. I mean, this car is not easy to drive here at Richmond. It's a pretty tough car. The track is unforgiving, and these guys make it look easy. So brilliant work down there on the track, and it's a joy to watch. A heck of a lot more interesting than the real NASCAR Sprint Cup race. I won't say that again because the gods of NASCAR might strike me down for it. But as we see places change out, Aaron Berger gets round 22 off Jose Pavon and moves himself up into 6th position on a charge back towards the front for Aaron. Only time will tell if the changes they made to those cars are going to be enough. Out front, Michael Woolley still leads. The little lone contender has a wobble as Jeff Creek comes around his outside. Around his outside, around his outside. Will he hold it to turn 2? He will get past him. We think no, they're too wide, and Michael Woolley will just maintain it as they run down into turn 3. Bit of adventure down to turn 3. Yep, Jeffrey's got a faster car and he can drive, but he wouldn't have had the opportunity quite as soon if Michael hadn't made that mistake and wobbled. Coming to the front stretch. Livey struggling down the corner as Thorndike looks down his inside. Looks to get the move completed as he gets past, and will Chuck Sweeting with him. That's Thorndike and Sweeting up into 3rd and 4th respectively. 5 Livey on a slide backwards as Aaron Berger closes in on this one. Another wiggle up front for Michael Woolley. He's holding this for dear life. Trying to get as many laps out as he can. Trying to get some time in clean air. And he's held it so far, but Only time will tell before I think Jeffrey Creek will get the jump on him. Jeffrey's inside. Yep, he's going to be through. Oh, they've got contact. Oh, big contact. 13 goes high. Very lucky to avoid an accident there, folks. 13 car just pushing too hard. Losing 3 places to that one incident. He spent far too long battling with Creek. He just realised he was there, giving it effort as long as he's behind him. But this is what happens, folks, as the guys continue racing on lap 59. There will be 104 laps remaining this time at the stripe as Jeffrey Creek, your new leader, brings the cars round on the backstretch. car of Michael Woolley and Michael Libby in the 5, both slipping back. Aaron Berge coming in to reel them in. Clearly those changes have made a big difference to those cars as they start to make their way through the field. Looking back now, running order, of course, Kevin Parsons and Stephen Mastro running 8th and 9th respectively. Those guys are closing in on the 22 of Jose Pabon. I think whatever these guys have done to those cars, it's made them much, much faster. Although, as we can see, Kevin does still have some actual damage on the right side of that car. Clearly sustained earlier when he had his contact with the wall, coming out of turn 3. That could almost slow him down. I mean, him and Mike Lawrence are both usually fast drivers. Both have had slaps to the wall. A little bit of damage, costing them a lot here at Richmond. Not something you'd really expect to be a major factor at Richmond, of course, unless they've got a big parachute sticking outside the car. But minor bodywork's apparently playing a bigger issue in iRacing than we'd expect, as Aaron Berge gets past Michael Libby to take 5th position and starts to make his charge forwards for Michael Woolley, that number 13 machine undercorrect from the Raven West 8 car. Jeffrey Creek still our leader out front, although James Thorndike and the 59 car is all over the back of him, taking a wider entry into the corner, diving it down low, trying to get that drive into the corner, close right off the corner on the guy's bumper. This is pretty close up front, and I think James is giving him a run for his money. Oh, wheel spinner, James Thorndike. He loses it off turn 4, like so many before him, slides it on the grass, keeps it going in the right direction. Brilliant recovery there from James Thorndike, although under green flag, no yellow flag, he will lose a lot of places, bringing him out right behind Kevin Parsons. That is not what he needed. Not at all. 2nd place all the way back. All the way back tonight. He must have been kicking himself. Of course, James Thorndike battling hard for the race lead. Absolutely, James Thorndike, pretty fast driver here himself. Another wobble for Kevin Parsons, bringing some more right side damage to that that 00 car. This could almost be his race, guys. I mean, he's going to be even slower now. He's almost guaranteed to go a lap down. Could this be everything for Tony? Kevin, sorry. Kevin Parsons, of course, managed to make the chase after a season of disappointment with a number of DNFs and unfortunate race incidents costing him victories. This is not the sort of day he's going to want to have. There back with Jose Pabon and Eric Crow. James Thorndike has almost even comes in. Now style sandwich. And no, that isn't something that involves barbecue sauce. He passes Jose Pabon on the inside into turn 2. Eric Crow following through, and that moves James Thorndike up to 7th place. Now on the charge, Mike Rominger in the 4. Hopefully that slide to the grass doesn't hurt him too much. He'll be able to get back to the front. Of course, James Thorndike, pretty good contender. Could be one to look for later in the race. Although, previous lap leader, Chuck Sweeting, in 2nd place, now in James Thorndike's position, all over the back of Jeffrey Creek. So we could be looking at a change in the race at this time. That is so true, Dylan. You can see Chuck took a slightly lower line. He starts a bit higher, he comes in a bit lower. He's apexing a little later than Jeffrey. He's trying everything he can to find that little bit more speed coming out of these corners. And it seems to be working so far as he's closing in on Jeffrey Creek. Of course, he may not need to pass him. All he needs is to make a mistake and he'll get past. But at this point, Jeffrey is maintaining that lead, defending it vigorously. He wants to lead more laps. Jeffrey Creek goes high, whether that's by design or he's letting him go at this stage. Chuck Sweeting, new leader at the line. He will be in 1st position. Giving that run down. Chuck Sweeting in 1st, Jeffrey Creek 2nd. Aaron Berge coming back up through the field. Michael Brockett in the 8 sheet in 3rd. Michael Libby in 4th. Michael Woolley in 5th. Mike Rominger 6th. James Thorndike, Eric Crowe, Stephen Mastro, Jose Pabon, Kevin Parsons. The only car remaining on the track, 1 lap down or more. Currently 5 down. That's not a good day for him. I believe Parsons has taken his car to the garage, along with the car of Tony Stewart. 2 retirees from the race so far, guys. I think that damage might have just frustrated him a little too much, Dylan. Well, we're going to speak to Kevin Parsons at this time frame. Or not. Communications issues as Kevin leaves TeamSpeak. That's not good. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to him eventually, but for now we should have to see. Not quite what we wanted. We'd go to get something for 2 and they leave us. That's, do we smell? Aaron Berge covering in 3rd place. He's cheating his way back towards the front and looking for Jeffrey Creek. Michael Libby is tagging along pretty well, covering a position or 2. He's managed to finally get past Michael Woolley, who's being hunted by the 4 car of Mike Rominger. That 13 car going backwards after leading several laps in this restart. No, we have front bodywork damage for the 13 car of Michael Woolley. That's not good. That'll definitely be slowing him down. Really unfortunate to see it on his car this early. And he has left side bodywork damage. Possibly integrating himself with another car. Getting loose again as he goes deep field. And he keeps it going. Very much like James Thorndike. He just manages to control that car, not lose it. He'll maintain position on the lap, but only just. Coming out in front of Eric Crow in 7th place. James Thorndike, of course, gaining a free spot in his return to the front. I mean, we've got some very fast drivers here tonight. We've got Jeffrey Creek, Chuck Sweeting, Aaron Berge, James Thorndike. Race of his own tonight. Chuck is gapping that field. I mean, Jeffrey Creek's driving into the corner a little deep here, but Chuck is getting, early in, and he's getting fast out. So he's really getting that drive of the corners as he comes around to lap Jose Pabon, 10th place driver, who gets high out of his way and lets him through. We will have 9 cars on the lead lap. Of course, Eric Crow 5 seconds of road to him. Not the night that Jose wanted. It's a respectful thing to do. But of course, if you're fighting with another car in your position, and the leaders come to the lap, you really don't need to move over. In fact, many times someone's legitimately held their ground. Leaders are faster, it's their job to pass you. But yeah, Jose getting out of the way nice and clean. He wasn't in any sort of battles with anybody. Moves well out of the way, lets the leader straight through, no hassle, no impediment. And everyone's getting closer.
My tires have fallen off way too much.
Yeah, Aaron Berge is saying over, we have team broadcasts stating that his tires are gone. That hard charge for Aaron Berge, bringing himself back up to a high of 3rd place, has killed his tyres, so it's not what he wants to know, I think, folks. We will indeed. Kevin, you live this broadcast, can you hear us?
Yes, we can.
We're great here, thank you, Kevin. Look, we just wanted to talk to you about your race so far. Obviously, we know you've taken the car to the garage. Do you think the car's back on track and you'll guys fix it in time?
I wall rode 3 or 4 times there. It could have been fixed, but my setup was already loose, and I was wrecking in front of the leaders at certain points, and it was just a hazard. Also, they just told me to grill pork chops in the garage already, and I wanted to go get one.
There we go, folks. Think about his stomach. Now, we saw you and your teammates all having problems with this car. I mean, Stephen Mastro, fast driver, he was fighting back. Obviously, Aaron, who just had his in-car audio, his tyres are shot already. Obviously, before the pit stop and you guys made changes, we assume. Your cars were all over the place. I mean, you were spinning, Aaron was spinning, Mike was just really suffering. Was it the setup? Was it the weather? Is it something you have to anticipate? And what did you do to fix it?
It was very loose at it too. We tried several different setups for every one of our team's drivers, and it was very loose at it too. And then out of 4, it was sometimes just random ones. It was hard. We just kind of had to deal with it.
As we watch Aaron Berge getting a big wiggle on as he comes down the backstretch. I mean, clearly whatever you guys have done to fix your cars has ended up killing the tyres for Aaron, or his charge through to the front has clearly made him suffer. What do you project for the rest of your teammates, for Stephen and Aaron in the rest of this race? Do you think the car is fixable? Do you think it's something they can change and modify to help get back to the front of this race?
The car comes in over a really long run. I think they'll start passing people who have worn out their tires even more.
Well, that is good to hear. All is not lost as Aaron gets very loose out of turn 2. Kevin, thanks for your time, and we thank you for joining us here in the booth. Hopefully your guys will get that car fixed, but maybe that Port River is better. Thank you.
Good luck, guys. Have fun.
Thank you.
User left your channel.
And we return to your regular scheduled coverage at Richmond International Raceway. We are logging lap 102 here in the DG Verttech Cup. Real Racing Online here at iRacing on MW Productions. Currently our table of results stands as follows. Chuck Sweeting in first place, Jeffrey Creek, Michael Leiby in third, Aaron Berge behind him, James Thorndike fifth, Mike Rominger, Michael Woolley, Eric Crow, Stephen Mastro and Jose Pabon. The 10 remaining cars we have running in this race. We have retirements from Kevin Parsons, who I spoke to, and Tony Stewart, as we seek Aaron Berge coming down pit road under green flag conditions. Do you think he's managed to wait out his fuel window, Dylan, or do you think this is a desperation he has to stop sort of moment?
I think this is great thing they can do and fill it up. We have just enough fuel to make
Absolutely, although as we see now, the number 45 car, Stephen Mastro and Jose Pabon all down a lap. I think we're starting to see the beginning of green flag pit stops here, so Aaron may just have held on long enough to make this last. Of course, whether he has actually managed to wait the full length of time or not, he has put himself off sequence, which means when the leaders come down pit road, he will hopefully, on fresh tyres, inherit that lap back. So it could still all be to play for Aaron Berge. And there we see the 13 car of Michael Woolley coming down pit road. James Thorndike's already pitted. Green flag pit stops, folks, are starting. Michael Woolley enters his pit box. Let's see what he takes. Getting right side tyres. His fuel man's putting in Sunoco Racing Fuel. He's taking left 4 tyres for Michael Woolley. Fuelo's pulled the hose out and he's away. Hopefully not speeding on pit road. Bitch at a track like Richmond. And he gets a clean out. Back on track. Everything good there. Great pit stop there for Michael Woolley. It brings him back to 10th place. Absolutely, he really is driving in hard, but because he's driving in so hard, he's suffering on the exit of the corner, so his tyres are starting to fall off now. It's really starting to impact his ability to keep up with Chuck Sweeting, but he's just overdriving that car. I mean, Richmond's the sort of track you've got to underdrive it, you've got to be respectful, got to be quite patient, and he's just trying a little too hard as we see a car. Aaron Berge staying low for the leaders. Aaron Berge getting out of the way of the leaders as he goes down a second lap. Not what Aaron wanted. Aaron Berge in the wall. We're going to have a caution, folks. We're not. Can't wait those minutes together. Major bodyweight damage there for Aaron Berge. He's going to be king himself.
Yes, sir.
a caution, I believe, folks. Yeah, pace cars jumping coming out of track. We have us a caution. We think he's got his hands full at the moment with his car repairs, so we'll see if we can grab him after he finishes his pit stop. Lead lap cars entering pit road. He has to pit the second lap, remember, lead lap cars pitting first, followed by lap cars. Absolutely. Of course, this is going to really play into the hands of cars like Michael Woolley, James Thorndike, Stephen Mastro, Jose Pabon, who have already stopped in the last few laps, so this could be a really good strategy play for James Thorndike. Will bring him out pretty much out the front. In fact, he's the first car one lap down. If he doesn't get well, he will get the lucky dog, and he will be in the race lead, hopefully. Well, tail end's the longest line, but with only 4 cars ahead of him that will be on the lead lap, it stands in pretty good stead. Absolutely. Michael Woolley wants his lap back. Badly, I think. Of course, Jeffrey Creek here going to inherit that race lead from Chuck Sweeting. Bad pit stop for him in the number 62 as he's passed by Michael Leiby and Jeffrey Creek. So, running through our running order so far, Jeffrey Creek, Michael Leiby, Chuck Sweeting, Mike Rominger and Eric Crow rounding up our top 5 and lead lap cars. Of course, we're going to get a wave round for Michael Woolley, not having stopped under this caution and being 1 lap down. Should bring him onto the lead lap. And the lucky dog for James Thorndike, who's now getting his lucky dog and rejoining in 6th position. So, really going to have a battle on our hands now with 7 cars back on the lead lap. That leaving just Stephen Mastro, Jose Pabon and Aaron Berge running. Although Aaron with some serious damage after that wall hit, Dylan. What do you think his chances are, of course, of him not being in the pits? Absolutely. Absolutely, as he goes another lap down. That'll be 3 as he leaves pit road with a somewhat repaired car. They've got bare bundle over it, but it looks a hell of a lot better than it did. Hopefully he'll be able to at least compete. Green flag, green flag, green flag. Sorry to get you off. Car's going away in a good way, and Jeff Creek's in first place. Is he going to hold it? He's got the inside line. Chuck Sweeting cutting off Michael Leiby on the outside, coming straight through into second place. I mean, Chuck Sweeting's got to be one of the fastest cars on track right now as they all bunch up in turn 3. Chuck Sweeting, he's got something extra under the hood of that car. You've got to favourite him for the win. As we said, our bubble driver, Eric Crow, is currently running, scored in 4th place, so pretty good run tonight for him. Although with the likes of James Thorndike and Mike Rominger behind him, might not be for long. And as they come around across the line to start lap 120 with 80 remaining, our leader is still Jeffrey Creek. Chuck Sweeting, however, 0.3 of a second behind him, is gaining fast. It should not be long before he is back in the lead. Some close racing down to the pack as we have Jose Pavon and Steven Mastro fighting over 8th position. And up front, Eric Crow and James Thorndike jousting it out for 4th place. This has got fighting throughout the field, Dylan. I mean, these guys are all over each other. This is not the sort of race we saw at Richmond last week. This is action-packed. As we see Woolley going up towards the wall in turn 3, looking after that car, keeping it under control. He loses place though. Aaron Berger's going to sneak past on the inside and tucks up behind Jose Pabon. Will he be able to get inside him though and get past him too? No, he won't, as Pavon and Woolley all over each other, fighting hard for that position. Can Aaron get past and avoid potential conflict of hard fighting cars? In 7th place.
Caution's out.
Caution is out.
Alright, there's a piece of debris.
Oh, 45 passengers hard under the caution flag. Steven was running through turn 2 and just seems to wobble straight down to the infield. That's not going to be good for his car as he takes fairly significant damage to the left side of that car. Can you tell us just who was involved in that accident there, Dylan?
Looking up right now, I'm in the podcast booth, and it looked like it was Aaron Berge, Jose, and Michael Woolley, who just barely missed it by very close, but very barely missed it.
Well, the accident himself was Jose Pavon. We will take a look at that now. Jose loses the back end of his car coming out of turn 2 and just slows down enough that Michael Woolley gets into the back of him and turns him around. That is not a good result there, Jose, but unavoidable risk is, I think, for Aaron Berge.
User left your channel.
Jose seemed like he got a little loose coming out of turn 2, and Aaron was right there. Had pretty much nowhere to go.
User joined your channel.
Just barely tapped and which sent those two cars sideways.
Absolutely. Although I think race control still arguing over what penalty needs to be applied, if any, for an unavoidable accident. I think so. I don't think an end of line penalty is going to hurt Jose so much at the moment, with him being already at the end of the line. Lead lap cars have pitted already, of course. Now we will see the lap cars coming down pit road.
Looking at Jose right now, and doesn't seem to get much shape.
I'm more concerned about Steven Mastro. Rear damage, side damage, damage. That car just swerved into the wall after turn 2. with apparently no warning, so brakes will be on for him, I think, for most of this race. Have a triplet of wounded birds up front with Stephen Mastro, Aaron Berge and Michael Woolley. Absolutely, although Aaron Berge seems to have managed to get his guys to repair quite a lot of that damage for him. His car not looking too bad at the moment. Certainly the most able-bodied of the three, I think, at this time. He does, but Aaron's looking racy. His car's put back together pretty well. I mean, he's only 3 laps down. We've got 70 laps to go. If anything, he could recover from it. Oh, caution! Green flag right as they get back to the start. The Master swerves off the track. No one's ready for that at all. As it gets pretty racy up front, Libby tucks it in front of Thorndike. Can he do it? No. Creek's edging out the front lead. Ford Rominger coming around the outside of Thorndike. Will he make that stick? He probably won't. The 59's going to come on the inside line. And we'll have that run into turn 2. Dead at the line. The 59 and the 4 wheel to wheel. 59 edging the 4 and the 59 gets squirted past him with a brilliant corner entry. And Eric Crow, our bubble driver, will follow him through into 4th place. Action-packed already. Who says restarts are boring as Thorndike will come... sorry, I apologise. Rominger comes back at him on the inside. He will hold that position. Libby and Thorndike fighting hard over second. I think we're quite careful about making rather abrupt moves on that front straight with the accidents we've had, but Thorndike gets it done. Brings his car through into 2nd place, and time to go looking for Jeffrey Creek if he can catch him. Chuck Sweeting, poor pit stop again, he's back in 6th place. Although I don't think it'll be long before you see him chasing down our race leader, whoever that may be. Kevin Parsons, Aaron Berge is back in the pits. He slapped the wall hard. Big right side damage. This could be his race done. That'll still be a top 10 for him though, with the non-finishes we have so far today. Tony Stewart, Kevin Parsons. That leaves Aaron Berge in a pretty comfortable 10th place. Of course, even if Kevin Parsons were to return 64 laps down, he cannot get more laps on the clock than Aaron Berge, so that would be a secure 10th place. As we have a caution, Roman just spun. Let's have a look folks to see exactly what happened. Rominger pushing hard to catch up with Michael Libby. Rominger just takes 2 tight line on the exit. The back end of that car just steps on him. He corrects his steering and the car whips the opposite direction, spins on the track, and poor Jose Pavon catches the rear quarter of his spinning car on his left front. I really hope that's not done much damage to poor Jose. He's had a few little licks today. That car, okay, looking pretty good. He got very lucky there, Dylan.
He made contact with Jose, and he was some of that net code that iRacing was for.
It could well be, in fact. Although, if you look at Jose's car, the rear edge of his left fender is pushed all the way in on that left rear wheel. I think he might have just caught the back end of spinning 4 car with his rear quarter panel.
On that clipping thing, though, when I first came into the practice lobby tonight, I loaded my setup and went out on the track, and my F bar was ping and red the whole time I was going through the corners.
Well, I thought they did, but clearly so much I was having a few communications issues. Race off pit road hotting up as Jose gets out
Yes,
ahead.
I know, Rachel. However,
of,
I tried saying it on
Eric
the Racer
Crow.
channel, and Jeffrey Creek must not have added the Racer channel before the race. So I came here to say.
As we got some exciting information there with the race channel we didn't need, but 22 making it out ahead, although one lap down, of Eric Crow, maintaining 4th position, we think, at this time. Eric Crow still scored in 4th, so as it stands, Jeff Creek in 1st, James Thorndike 2nd, Michael Libby 3rd, Eric Crow 4th, Michael Woolley 5th, Chuck Sweeting in 6th, Stephen Mastro 7th, last lap of car on the lead lap. Jose, of course, involved in that accident, will not get the lucky dog this time around. And Mike Rominger and Aaron Berge, top 10 and top 10 drivers remaining in this race. So we're 58 laps to go. Things are going to starting to spice up, I think. Cars pushing a little harder now, positions are more important. We're starting to see a lot of little issues cropping up with those super racy loose setups, Dylan.
Seen Aaron's he's been very loose all the way long, and I think he's finally hitting some of his other teammates. Jose has caught up in an accident, and we got Steven, who is in the far back of the track, but usually he's known as. I think not too loose for everyone else. No, what's there?
I think that could be. So what's your decision? What do you vote for in this one, Dylan? Creek or Sweeting? Who do you think's going to hit this one? Or do you think James Thorndike's going to come through and steal it from the pair of them? Green flag, green flag. Low start there from Michael Libby. Boxed down and nearly gets in the way. Car's fanning out into turn 2. Bit of a swap and exchange there for Thorndike as he looks down the inside of Libby into turn 2. Will he hold it? I don't think he will. Libby has the outside line, will just run on him, but no, Libby touches the wall a little bit. Thorndike's going to get past him in 2nd place. Clean pass there for Thorndike. Pressure on Libby, too much to handle. Now Thorndike got to Jeffrey Creek, our leader. 0.4, 7, 6, 9 seconds between the two of them. Can he catch him? Time will tell. Further back down the field, Eric Crow maintaining that 4th position. Brilliant run there from Eric. Although he has Chuck Sweeting in 5th position behind him, coming after him like a hunting badger. That could be his tyres again, but we will find out. Aaron Berge is starting much more competitive now. Will he have enough to hold on? Of course, Aaron actually now on the same lap as Stephen Mastro, although with Stephen Mastro very damaged, it might not be long before Aaron manages to secure himself 9th place in this one. As Mastro pulls off into pit road, this could be it. Aaron Berge is probably going to finish in 9th position now. It is an improvement over 10th, I suppose. He must be at least happier to gaining another position. Aaron, I think, sticking around just to hope a few more cars have some incidents tonight. Now, from we have a battle on our hands as James Thorndike has caught up, along with Michael Libby, to the leading car of Jeffrey Creek in that 42 Chevrolet. Toyota, I apologise. They all look the same from the back. I'll be honest, they do. away, but he seems to have a resurgence, or maybe he's just following James Thorndike. That is so true. Jeffrey Creek though and James Thorndike, brilliant drivers, pretty careful when it comes to racing. Hopefully we don't ever come together with our leaders and really shake this one up, guys. 4th place though, it's our Charger, it's Chuck Sweeting, he's back! But even Michael Woolley's managed to make it through Eric past Eric Crow. His tyres falling off pretty early. Chuck Sweeting's all over the back of those three. This will really shake things up. He's got a fast race car. We know he can pass people. I mean, are people going to follow him through? We're going to have positions swapping left, right and centre now once he starts to come through this lead pack. Think he'll make it to lead? Do you think this could be the catalyst for our accident, or do you think the guys will make it through clean? That is without question. Chuck Sweeting all over the back of Michael Lively now. He's got to be planning his way through these guys. Of course, they're pretty close together. It's not exactly room where you can pass individual cars one at a time. He's going to end up with some too wide action here. Oh, big hit on the wall for the 62 of Chuck Sweeting. Similar sort of damage we saw happen to Kevin Parsons early on. This could end up in really hurting his performance. Pushing that little too hard, trying to catch those leaders. As we see now, Michael Lively falling back along with Chuck Sweeting, with a gap to our leaders of Jeffrey Creek and James Thorndike. So that lead really starting to separate now. We're going to start to see exactly who has what it takes to get to the front here tonight. Those cars still on the lead lap. We have Jeffrey Creek, James Thorndike, Michael Lively, Chuck Sweeting, Michael Woolley, Eric Crow and Jose Pavon in 7th place. Cars a lap down, Mike Oranger and Berge, 3 laps and 5 laps down respectively. Cars out of this race, we have Steven Mastros still in the pits, Kevin Parsons and Tony Stewart both in the garage, and I believe Kevin's gone for a sandwich. So 2 retirements, 1 potential retirement, and 9 cars running still. I mean, is this the sort of attrition you expected tonight, Dylan, or do we think that we're going to see some more cars? James Thorndike's gone round, bringing out the caution flag once more. He's going to kick himself because this is not the first time he's lost it in that corner. That is unfortunate. Thorndike's been running really well. He's just been causing himself problems though. Spin here, spin there. He's had great pace, but he's just been pushing a little too hard, and it's been hurting him. Do you think he can recover from this? Only 36 laps. Is it going to be enough, do you think? Do you think he has time to get through there? Obviously, if we have a few more cautions, it could shake things up a lot, but, you know, once drivers stop under this caution, they're going to make it to the end on fuel. This is it now, because of Wreckers, the final stint. I think we're going to see another caution tonight. This could be a big shake-up. Of course, these guys pretty respectful early on, you know, giving each other free passes, you know, when someone's faster than go. Creek did that with Sweeting. But I think now at this stage, with no more pit stops really scheduled, we're going to see tooth and nail fighting from these drivers. And it's the last race, the regular season, before we go to the chase, of course, next week at Chicagoland. It's going to be all out for those final positions. But Dylan, can you tell us what the running order is going to be for this restart? Well, Chuck's always had some pretty poor pit stops actually this race. He's always seemed to lose several places under the pit stops. His team really not on it today. Absolutely. That is true. Kill your crew, replace them, and get some new guys. You know what you have to do. Line them up in pit road, you can play Skittles. Too soon? I think so. Cars forming up now. You ready for that restart? What do you think it's going to go? Do you think we're going to have a clean one? Do you think the guys are going to be pushing quite hard now? Absolutely. Pace cars in and they're coming to the green flag. And we have the green flag and they're away. Wooly with a slow start. Although managing to hold on to that lead, will he hold it to turn 1? That's the question. James Thorndyke recovering pretty well. He's in 4th position now. Good recovery after that early spin. Contact between Libby and Creek. As Thorndyke will look down his inside. We have more contact, I think. Just dumping doors. And Thorndyke's through to 3rd. Will Creek take the run into turn 1? No, Jose's on the outside, can't quite get the run. Michael Woolley will hold this one. I mean, Michael Woolley's been a pretty dark horse this race. He's come from quite far back. He has led laps in anger. I mean, do we think he is in a position where he can hold this one? Do we think though that James Thorndyke, is he going to make a mistake again? I mean, he's had some loose moments out before when he's been pushing hard. Do you think he can get this move done early enough that he can actually get clean air and not have to make that really aggressive push that's cost him so much this race? We have Creek down the inside of Thorndyke and Libby on the high line as well. Bit of a wobble from Libby, and no, they'll hold their position still on this track. Libby looking all over Michael Woolley for that lead. The top four cars separated by only half a second on this racetrack as Libby goes up the track and hits the wall. He's going to hold it though. He's going to hold it on the track. He's got a bit of damage, but he will hold that car on the track. Great recovery there from Michael Libby. Keep that car running. Really nice move. Although Chuck Sweeting all over the back now of Jeffrey Creek. Looking for that third place on the racetrack. Chuck, as we know, he's been pretty good, but will he manage to get past these fast guys in dirty air? I mean, he's been great out front, but do you think he can really get through there? And it's what we have left. We have 14 laps remaining. 23 laps remaining, I apologise. Do you think it's enough for him to get it done? Absolutely, we see James Thorndike now in second place. He's going to be all over Michael Woolley. Can he hold off that pressure? Can he keep the car on the track? And I think it'd be really special if we see James Thorndike come into victory lane today, because he's had so much trouble this race, and I think it would be the most awesome story for him to finish this race where he is, or even in first. Sweeting now down the inside of Jeffrey Creek into third place. Early race pass, making it happen before turn 2. Great move there as he gets a great run out of the corner, gapping Jeffrey Creek. Woolley is slipped back, yes. We have new leader, that'll be James Thorndike, 59 machine, with Chuck Sweeting up in the second place. Woolley's tyres starting to go as he starts to drop back through this field. I think it's more of a conservation game for him now. How well can he keep this car going? Chuck Sweeting's really good to put that pressure on now. Although clean air for Thorndike could be the most valuable thing he's had all race. Find the times this time on the line, and it will be 0.284 seconds between first and second. Although that valuable clean air playing a big role for James Thorndike. And he turns it around! No! Thorndike hard onto the inside wall. Spins it, and it's going to be a caution. Car coming straight back on track. That's a risky move there, and that's so unfortunate. 13 laps to go. We have 17 laps remaining. It's going to be 13 when we go green. Can he recover from that? He's going to be 6th place. This is tough. If he hasn't got too much damage, of course. Cars coming down pit road, we'll see exactly how much damage he has. Will he be able to get back on track in a decent position? Will he forget his repairs, or will he just... There's not enough time left for him to really think and worry about completely fixing that machine. I think we're going to see him come straight out of the pits, if he can. So our leaders as they are. We have Michael Woolley sneaking back out into first position. Jeffrey Creek, Michael Libby, Chuck Sweeting, Eric Crow, Jose Pabon, James Thorndike. After that spin, he's in 7th place, last car on the lead lap. Michael Rominger, Aaron Berger in 9th, and Stephen Mastro has taken that car to the garage. He's on. We've seen Michael hold on pretty well on restarts, so do you think he may have got 13 laps? Can he hold this one? Can he be the shock winner of this race? Absolutely, but you know, a bit like Jeff Gordon, Jeffrey Creek needs quite a long run to get his car going again. We're going to have 13 laps at the line. I don't think it's going to be enough. I'm afraid to make my race predictions here, but I think it's going to be either Michael Woolley or Chuck Sweeting for this one. Woolley's our surprise contender, but Chuck Sweeting, you've got to admit, he's had a great race so far tonight. Michael Livy's been back and forwards, but again, he's been a long run car. As the pace car's in, we're going to go green at the restart, and they're away. And we've had a great start there from Jeffrey Creek. We had Jeff Gordon doing, but he's managed to hold that into turn 1 as Creek goes right up violently down the inside, holding 2nd place as the cars go mad. We know it's a short run now to the end, 11 laps remaining. Creek knows this one's within his grasp, he has to fight for it. Running lap 190 now, as we have Thorndike in the wall, Jose into the back of him, both cars still running. That's taking them both out of contention, Dylan. Creek looking down the inside, he's going to take it from Woolley. Michael Woolley falls back in 2nd place, and Libby nearly in the wall as Creek makes a great dive down that inside. And we have a caution. Caution, caution, caution. This changes everything, guys. Why we had a caution? We have a reason for that. It was Aaron Berge. Tough race for him so far, and it's gotten worse again. Aaron Berge himself bringing out the yellow flag, because of course our racing has glitches, but they had a problem at the back of the field. Jose and Thorndike both damaged cars. Eric Crow on the outside of them. Rominger slows down between above Jose, gets loose, goes up the track, and Aaron runs into him and taps him. Not a good situation for Aaron there. He's many laps down. He's not racing these guys, the laps above him. But even more damage on that number 8 machine, and Mike Rominger probably not the happiest bunny at the moment. Big damage to the rear end of that car. Good job it's the last. They won't need another pit stop for fuel, because I don't think they'll get fuel in that car with the damage around the inlet valve. Pace cars catching the leaders now. It's gonna be, if they don't stop, Jeffrey Creek and Michael Woolley. No, they're going in for pit tyres. Oh, we have a dummy. Number 5 for Michael Libby. And the only car to go down pit road is Michael Woolley. That's not the best decision for him there. I think Michael got duped. Now when he sees Libby on the inside, and he feels like he's going to go in, goes in, commits, and Libby comes back out. Interesting move there, but not one I particularly approve of, but there you go. Of course, that brings Michael Woolley right down to 6th place at the racetrack. I mean, as we see, you know, he literally does go down pit road and does take tyres, so probably no fuel, but he's taking tyres. Both him and Jose have gone in. Will this help them? Do you think this could be anything for them? I mean, Jose's a lap down. He is only fighting Mike Rominger, but Michael Woolley is 6th. He's the last car on the lead lap. Precious tyres. We're going to be going green in the next lap or two. This could be at least a green-white checker now. Will it be enough? Well, when I say green-white checker, it's going to be the same amount of laps. We're going to be looking at least 3 laps. They're going to go green, they're going to have the white flag, let's give you the checkered flag. I know Irish can throw, but sometimes you get lucky and it happens. Cars forming up now, we should be 1 to go. Absolutely. This race will finish on the yellow flag if they screw this one up. And I think Jeffrey Creek's hoping they do. With the 62 of Chuck Sweeting starting behind him, this could be a tough one. I mean, we know the 5 of Library's not been the best on starts. We know Woolley, if he wants any places, is going to have to really push this one to get anything he can. The pace car's in. Green flag. And he goes, he bolts. Decent start there from Libby on the outside of Creek, both going at the same time, rather delayed start for them. As they go, Aaron up around the top, holds his position. Creek's going to keep it in first. Oh, Libby's in the wall. That's going to change everything. Tweeting through on the inside. Thorndike fight back, missed terrible luck so far. Get a 3rd in this race. Will he have enough time to get past that car of Michael Libby? Creek holding off a concerted attack now from Chuck Sweeting in 2nd. Can he hold him off? We're going to be on lap 199. 2 laps remaining. We're going to see the white flag this time round. Cars all over to the Michael Woolley. He's moved himself to 5th place. Too bad he stopped. He's going to be kicking himself for that. Because it doesn't seem to be affecting these guys. It's not the advantage he wanted. Sweety's spun. Can he hold it though? He's held it, he's held it, he's held it. He's going to hate himself for that. Giving up 2nd place on the racetrack to Michael Libby. Oh, Woolley's through to 3rd place. This is it. This is lap 200. He's not going to have time as Thorndike hits Michael Woolley. They're going to cross the line, and that's it, folks. That is it. So, unofficial race results at this time. Jeffrey Creek from Michael Libby in 2nd place. Michael Woolley in 3rd. James Thorndike in 4th. Eric Crow 5th. Chuck Sweeting in 6th after that late race spin. Mike Rominger, 1st car lap down. Jose Pavon, Aaron Berge in 9th. 10th place, Stephen Mastro. 11th, Kevin Parsons. 12th, Tony Stewart. And that wraps up our race tonight, folks. So, without further ado, we'll be back in just a moment with some people to interview.
This is just a, I'm going to redo the intro because my overlay wasn't working at this point in time, but this is the beginning of the broadcast before it's going.
User left your channel. User joined your channel.
DGVerttech.net's primary goal is to provide you with a successful website presence. They have purpose-built days, then you can get a full money-back guarantee, with a 99 uptime guaranteed as well, with plans for shared hosting starting at just $2.95. It's clear to see why DG Verttech should be your choice for web hosting. Just go to www.dgverttech.net today, your web hosting solution.
User was moved to your
I
channel.
was.
Switched. User was moved to your channel. User was moved to your channel.
Gentlemen, firstly, brilliant race tonight. Afraid we don't have Michael Libby finished second tonight because he was not in TeamSpeak, but we have with us Jeffrey Creek, race winner. Congratulations, Jeffrey. How was that for you?
Thanks. It's good. Good feeling to win at Richmond.
Tough track, you had a tough race. You had a big battle throughout this race. You had Jim Thorndike all over you, and you had Chuck Sweeting, who's here with us as well, putting so much pressure on you, especially at the end there. I mean, you held off some fast drivers. Your line did seem different, though, to a lot of the other cars. You were definitely driving in a lot harder.
Yeah, I didn't arc it as much, but yeah, I could drive it in fairly deep. But I know some people were saying, or someone thought I was driving defensively, but I really wasn't. I was just backing my corner up so I didn't burn my tires up because I didn't have a really good setup. It was just I had to drive it just right.
Hey, that's as much as racing as it is having a fast car. So, I mean, brilliant win there from you. Had some adversity, but pretty clean race for you so far. And just want to move on now to Chuck. Now, you finished 6th. You're the last car on the lead lap. Tell us about those final laps.
Yeah, well, I just kind of had to go for it there, but I didn't have the grip coming off the corner, and that was pretty obvious coming to the white flag there. But I do want to congratulate Jeffrey and defend him. I was watching him at practice, and he was running that same line in practice, so that's just his line on this track.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, brilliant race from you. You were passing cars left, front, and centre. You had some bad pit stops, though. I mean, I assume you're going to have your crew executed.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah. So we were talking in the booth earlier about maybe you're going to set them up in pit road as 10-pin bowling, NASCAR style.
Yeah, I need to do something. But I still had a lot
absolutely.
of fun. You know, it was a good race.
That it was. And our host, in fact, Mr. MW Productions himself, Michael Woolley.
What's up, Rachel?
So, tell us about that race. I mean, you led laps, you were at the front, you had a chance to win this one. I mean, what happened? Was it your tyres? I mean, we saw you falling for Michael Lively's dummy there at the end on pit road. I mean, tell us about that.
I didn't fall for anything. The plan was to go down pit road. I knew Creek had just taken 2 tires in the last stop. I went down to pit road, bumped the tape all the way up to 100, and it almost blew there at the end. But we run pretty good all day long, especially that splash and go there towards the end. Now, we did get in a little trouble in the middle racetrack. Ricky puked her motor. I got in his oil. I touched Dale there on the backside, but for the most part, the Hardy's Taco Bell Kentucky Fried Chicken Chevrolet, she's just awesome.
There we go. Probably the fastest person I've heard talking since an auctioneer. But anyway, quite a few little. I mean, obviously, James Thorndike has left quite quickly. I don't think he wants to talk to us tonight. But
I ran him pretty hard there at the end.
He had a few hard moments. Usually, when he was trying to catch you, Jeffrey.
Yeah, I mean, he was.
Yeah, he was complaining
fast.
every time he got behind you. He just got arrow loose, and the car would just go around. I told him that you had an oil slick on the back. You know, you just pulled the trigger.
Yeah,
The James Bond car up front.
I wasn't in the chat when he said I was driving defensively. Somebody just told me he said that, but I really wasn't. I was just driving my line. I was trying to back the corners up because if I overdrive it, the car would not rotate. So I just had to back the corner up, and I heard he got kind of mad about that.
Well, as all people know, that is a legitimate thing to do in oval racing. I mean, tyres are important, and especially with the new model in iRacing, keeping them tyres alive is absolutely vital, folks. That heads up for next season, we are getting tyre degradation, proper tyre degradation, so it's going to matter even more. We're going to see more people running lines at Jeffrey Creek. Looking after those tyres, of course, earlier in the season we had big issues with Brian and Matt Wirtz. 2 drivers, very fast, same setup, different styles. One killing tyres more than the other. So that's going to be a big factor. And thank you for tonight, guys, and we appreciate you being here. This has been a production for MW Productions. This has been the DG Verttech Cup, Real Racing Online, here at Richmond International Speedway. I've been Rachel Whiteford, and this has been Dylan Eckhart. Good night.
Thank you everybody for watching.